You know, scientists believe that we only explored about 5% of the ocean, so the things on this list might just be the tip of the iceberg. Here are the 10 weirdest things ever found in the ocean. Number 10 is Blackbeard's ship, Queen Anne's Revenge. Born around 1960 in Bristol, England, Edward Teach grew up to become one of the most notorious pirates in history, the infamous Blackbeard. In 1717, Blackbeard captured a French slave ship and renamed it Queen Anne's Revenge. Not long before his death in 1718, the ship was run aground and was thought to be lost forever. That was until November 21st, 1996, when a private research team led by Mike Daniel finally discovered the 103-foot-long ship's remains in the Atlantic Ocean. 1.6 miles off the coast of North Carolina, the site is still being evacuated, and to date, over 280,000 artifacts have been salvaged. But the ship wasn't just loaded with coins and jewels. They also found 31 cannons from different countries, makeshift ammunition like canvas bags stuffed with lead and nails, and medical equipment, including syringes that would inject mercury to treat syphilis. Yikes, what a time to be alive. Number 9 are Jurassic microbes. It's hard to believe anything from the Jurassic period could still be alive, but a study released in 2012 announced that ancient microbes had in fact been found buried deep in the ocean. A team of scientists from Denmark and Germany, led by Hans Roy, went searching for life in some of the most barren places on Earth. In the Pacific Ocean near the equator and North Pacific Gyre current system, the biologists drilled 92 feet into the ocean floor to study red clay core samples. Buried in that clay, they found microbes that were still alive, but just barely, despite not having access to food or oxygen for centuries. Dang, I get hangry if I don't have second breakfast, so I don't know how these things survived 86 million years, but let's continue. The organisms were still using oxygen and had a metabolism, only it was really slow. The discovery was huge for science because it proved yet again that life can survive the impossible. Number 8 is the blobfish. The ocean is filled with beautiful wonders, but not if you're the Citrolutes microporos, better known as the blobfish or fathead. The blobfish looks more like something you'd blow out of your nose during a bad cold than a mysterious sea creature. They were first discovered back in 1983, but the world's saddest looking fish was probably best left in the depths of the ocean, where it came from. The blobfish can grow up to 12 inches long and are usually found at depths of nearly 4,000 feet in southern oceans around Australia, New Zealand, and Tasmania. They don't look quite so gross in their natural habitat because their gelatinous bodies are able to stand the immense pressure of the deep sea. Because they are slightly less dense than the ocean waters, they're able to stay afloat just above the sea floor. Once out of the water though, they really feel the weight of the world or gravity and become less fish, more blobs. Number 7 is an underwater gallery. Not everything we find in the ocean was lost centuries ago. In 2006, British artist and sculptor Jason Dakar-Taylor didn't find something but created the first underwater sculpture park. He created the park in Moliniere Bay off the coast of Grenada. Since then, he co-founded the Museo Subacuático de Arte off the coast of Cancun, Mexico in 2009. And on January 10th, he opened the Museo Atlántico off the coast of Spain. It was 14 meters below the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. His sculptures are life-sized figures of people and things that depict everything from watching TV to the refugee crisis. They're usually modeled from local people and then cast with a pH-neutral marine cement. The cement is textured so that over time the sculptures will develop into artificial coral reefs as the local marine life take them over. The result is a permanent and eerie underwater world of human figures frozen in time and surrounded by sea life. Number 6 is Garbage Island. One of the earliest lessons that we're taught is not to litter, but a look out your window will tell you that we aren't exactly the best at getting rid of our garbage. That became even clearer in the mid-1980s when researchers first described high concentrations of garbage clumped together in the ocean. There are 5 major garbage patches around the world, with the biggest being the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in the Pacific Ocean. The patches form when waste and debris, especially plastic, get caught in ocean currents and gradually group together. They aren't actually solid masses and can be spread out. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch was estimated to weigh 7 million tons and to be twice the size of Texas. And scientists think it could double in size over the next decade. Unfortunately, there's not a real island of garbage where we could send horrible people and politicians, but there are still huge amounts of waste polluting our oceans and killing wildlife. Number 5 are manganese mystery balls. In 1873, scientists discovered round metal balls at the bottom of the ocean, but over 140 years later, just why they form is still a mystery. The balls can range from an inch to as big as a bowling ball and consist of manganese hydroxide that develops layers of metal over a core of a tiny fragment of rock or fossil. The layers can contain all sorts of other metals, like copper, zinc, and cobalt. They also take incredibly long to develop, with just a few millimeters taking 1 million years to form. Because they're so slow, scientists are able to use them to study the Earth's history. They've been found all over the world, but have always been thought to be the most common in the Pacific Ocean. That was until January of 2015, when German scientists found the largest ever deposit at the bottom of the Atlantic, up to 18,000 feet below the water's surface. This could actually be a huge resource for the tech industry that uses rare earth metals in high-tech electronics. Number 4 is the lost city of KRISHNA. Today, Dwarka, located in the northwest of India, may seem like a normal coastal city, but its thousands of years of history are much closer than they appear. Dwarka translates as gateway to heaven in Sanskrit and is a place of pilgrimage for Hindus. It's also home to a 2,500-year-old temple dedicated to the Hindu god Krishna. In Indian mythology, Dwarka was Krishna's kingdom and had over 900,000 royal palaces and temples. That story came to life in 2001 when oceanographers accidentally discovered the remains of an ancient city 120 feet below the water nearby in the Gulf of Cambay. They found stone walls, the outline of roadways, and the remains of a port, as well as all sorts of artifacts from the lost civilization, including pottery, beads, and sculptures. Even human bones and teeth were found and carbon dated over 9,500 years old. It's believed that the city was flooded thousands of years ago before it sank to the bottom of the ocean. Number 3 is the ghost war fleet Chuck Lagoon. In the Pacific Ocean, 1,100 miles northeast of New Guinea, lies Chuck Lagoon, or Truck Lagoon as it's also known. The lagoon is spotted with several islands, which were used as the Japanese base of naval operations in the Pacific during World War II. During that time, many military munitions and vehicles were transported there. On February 17, 1944, the US military commenced Operation Hailstone, an aircraft bombing run against the ships stationed in the lagoon, and ended up obliterating the defending Japanese naval forces. The Japanese lost 12 warships, 32 merchant ships, and 275 aircraft in that attack. Their exploded and rusted metal machine corpses still lie scattered around Chuck Lagoon to this day, making it the world's largest ship graveyard in existence. In addition to the ships, ammunition, military supplies, soldier gear, and many personal items lie down there too in an almost untouched state. Creepy. Number 2 is the Baltic anomaly. On June 19, 2011, the Swedish dive team Ocean X were searching for an old shipwreck in the depths of the Bohemian Sea at the center of the Baltic Sea between Sweden and Finland. But instead, they discovered a mysterious huge circular rock formation partially buried in the sea floor. The giant rock contains limonite and granite, but could also contain metal. It hasn't been completely unearthed, but sonar scans show that it's 10 to 13 feet thick and 200 feet in diameter, sitting on a 26-foot tall stone pillar. They also found other rock formations nearby that look like a 300-foot-long runway and a set of stairs that appear to be leading down into a dark hole. Most scientists believe it formed naturally, possibly during the last ice age. But that definitely hasn't stopped others from speculating that the strange rocks could be the remains of an old fishing boat, a sunken ship from World War II, or even evidence of an alien crash landing. And number 1 is Cleopatra's Lost City. Explorers may still be looking for Atlantis, but in 2000, French marine archaeologist Frank Goddio may have found the next best thing, the lost city of Herculaneum, once ruled by the Egyptian queen of the Nile, Cleopatra. The city was discovered only 30 feet underwater at the mouth of the Nile in Abu Qir Bay in the Mediterranean Sea, 20 miles from the ancient city of Alexandria. The city dates all the way back to the 12th century BC, and it was at least partially built on stilts over the water before it sunk over 1,500 years ago. Before it was found, the city had only been mentioned as a place visited by Helen of Troy in a few ancient texts. Goddio and his team had accidentally found the lost palace and the temple of Cleopatra. They also found treasures like gold coins and charms and uncovered stone sphinxes, massive 16-foot tall statues of Egyptian gods, as well as the sarcophagus of an unknown pharaoh. The ocean is a mad place, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. On the right, you'll find 2 of my most recent videos that you can press or click on your screen right now if you want to watch some more. And that's it for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Going swimming in the ocean.